Dorothy with That Scrapbooking, and I am showing you my third braided card. So the first one, the braid was at the crease. The second one was in the middle, and now this one is off to the side where you open the card. So I thought I would just cover all aspects of the card locations, and this is what I came up with. I'm using crisp air papers and a crisp air stamp. How cute. So if you haven't subscribed to me, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. And here's my process video. So here are the pieces that I'm going to use. I'm using some crisp air paper. That's the leaf background there. That's from our crisp air collection in our catalog, our seasonal catalog. I'm taking off an inch of the front of the card here, and you'll see why. So I'm using shortbread. I'm using that beautiful crisp air paper and our new color pine. And I am going to make the braid out of the pine. So I went ahead and cut a piece that is like 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. And this is a pre-used braid template. So I would suggest to not use the cut up ones. It's just easier to use the ones who haven't been cut. I just hadn't made another copy of I've used up my template pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and put the line on the creased edge and then use some washi tape to secure it in place. And then I'm cutting along the lines like I did on the previous 2 cards. So one's a short line and one's a long line. And go right up to the tip and no more or no less. So just going all the way up, and it becomes apparent why you have these slanted lines. And I'm going to go ahead and throw that template out because now it's like going to get real confusing. So here we have, and just have a little piece of washi tape that doesn't want to come off, being stubborn. So I'm going to unfold, and there I've got all my chevrons. And so you want to start with all the points pointing up. And so I'm going to go ahead and crease the bottom one and cut it off. And you're saying, why are you doing that? And it will become apparent. So I'm just neatening up the little edge there. So as I fold them down and give them a good crease with my fingernail, getting my nails done, I hope today, then you fold it under. So you fold down and tuck under. That's what you do. Fold down, tuck under. And you can see the different shade of pine on our flip side. All of our cardstock is like that. And then I'm going to take the little piece that's left and glue it in place, and I'm going to make it match the others so the light side is pointing up. And I'm just going to use a little bit of Tombow. You could use liquid glue if you wanted to. Now you see why I have glue spots all over my mat. So there we go, and I'm just going to make sure that the creases are nice and tight creases. And once again, going over, I have a built-in bone folder. My nails are so hard from this dip. Boy, it makes your nails hard as rocks. So I cut a piece of the shortbread that's 5 1/4 by, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, but then I also trimmed the, an inch off the flap, front flap. So I've got to cut off the excess. So I'm just trimming it from the back side. And that's why I trimmed it. So I've got my lattice work that is going to go over and make up the difference that I cut off. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it down with Tombow, but I want it to be a really tight glue job. So I'm double layering. So I've got it on the bottom and on the top. So that way it can take, a little bit more handling for opening and closing. And I decided I wanted these pretty leaves to go on the inside, so a little bit of pattern would kind of peek through the lattice work. And then we've got this wonderful stamp, and I was hoping that I could use these new leaf thin cuts that we have. And I love it because even the veins of the leaves are a thin cut. But I think they're just a little bit too big for a card, so I'll have to use them for like a scrapbook page. I love that. I think that could be used for a feather too. So this is a really cute, now this is in the core catalog. And I really need to get some alcohol after my, my pad there. It's in the core catalog, and it goes with the Four Seasons paper. So this is for the autumn papers, and I'm going to go ahead and do the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece to go on the inside of my card. So I love this paper. Should have cut it off beforehand. Sorry about that. That's a real pretty zip strip that's on the flip side of that paper, and those cute pumpkins. That is a really pretty zip strip, but it just doesn't, it would not go well with this card, I don't think. So I am going to go ahead and, I didn't do a perfect job of that. So there's a little bit, my little edge, my braided edge is just a little bit off. It's a little too high up on top and a little too low on the bottom. So I'm going to trim the bottom of the card off. See? And I put it on there so tight you can't get it off. Oh well. So I have to cut off. I should have unfolded the card when I did that. That wasn't very smart. So here we are, all better. Okay, I am going to go ahead and I'm trying to find a piece of paper to put this on. I think I want the white, and then I'm going to stamp it in pine to go with the lattice or the braid, whichever you want to call it. And I was thinking the spots, but no, that I just don't want that. And that's a good accent color for this. So it's like, what do I do? Not sure. Gonna think. So I needed to go and get some white cardstock to stamp the crisp air. And the stamp set is called Autumn Air. Like I said, it's in the core catalog. But you can find it in the stamp section of my dorothy.closetomyheart.com website. That's where you can shop for any of these products. So, isn't that pretty? I think that's really pretty. I love all the swirls. And I really like this pine or new pine color. So why am I doing this? Okay, I'm coming up with an excuse for why everything is so close to me. I have short arms. That's what the problem is. Okay, so I just went with the swirls around there and fussy cut it out. And so I'm kind of thinking, I love all these leaves, and I really intended to use leaves for this card, but that first set with the thin cuts was called Simple Leaves. But, just sometimes you have it in your head and then it just doesn't work out the way you thought. So you go for something else. So this is perfect. This had leaves with it, not thin cuts, so I'll have to fussy cut them. But that's okay. So they're nice little leaves, and I decided to get some distressed oxide. And I'm putting it on my craft mat. So I've got all these three colors. That's marmalade and mowed grass, and I don't know if it's brick. I forget what the yellow one is, but it's a yellow distressed oxide. And so what I'm going to do is take my leaf, each one, and I'm just going to smush it around and that's what it looks like. So I'm just picking up some ink, some of the distressed oxide on my stamp, and then I'm stamping it on some white cardstock over to the side there. So this is just super easy. So I'm stamping 2 each of the same leaf because I don't know exactly, how much I'm going to use. So I picked up a bunch of yellow on this one and then just adding a little highlight here and there. This is fun because they're all coming out looking so different. I mean, this is really fun. And there we go. Woo! You have to look at that fast. I have this speeded up 300 or something. Anyway, I'm doing, all the different leaves that they have. That one came out pretty tough. These are all just completely different looking. This is fun. I'm going to take those thin cut leaves, and I'm totally going to do this smushing, or whatever you want to call it, technique on that. And so I'm just using the dark orange for the berries. So I did the berries, and I'm going to take this cute little acorn. And acorns are usually brown. All the ones my dogs drag in from outside are brown. So I'm using mocha. And I put it down. Unfortunately, you can't see it because it's, I did the same thing with my mocha ink on the bottom of the craft mat. I just put a blob there and then mixed some of the yellow and the brown and the mocha with, to stamp the acorn. So you'll get to see them as I cut them, maybe, or maybe it'll be all off camera. So here we go, and this is me fussy cutting, so you want to hold on to your whatever you're cutting out and move the paper around your item rather than our usual way of cutting. So you're just moving. You get a smoother cut this way. And so these are cute little acorns, and I like the way they came out. They came out, I purposely did a modelly because that's what the acorns in my backyard look like. They're modelly. There's my little berries. And there's my second acorn. And gosh, I love these. That actually looks like I've got a tree that has little feather leaves like this. It's a cypress tree, I think. Yeah, it's a cypress tree. It's not a cedar tree. I always get them confused. Bald cypress. But it has leaves that look like feathers. So very cool. And here are my maple leaves, my favorite leaf. And they're the ones that just turn all sorts of gorgeous colors in the fall. They have like the best colors. Although I have to say sweet gum is almost like a maple, the way it turns colors too. Lots of bright reds, just beautiful. So there's my leaves. I am really happy with those. I got to make some more leaves for get ready for autumn. And believe me, I am ready for autumn. I know it's August, and no, I'm not confused. It's August and it's autumn. So I know that August is not autumn, but I am so ready for the heat to go away here. So I'm going to cut a piece of this. This is another one of the background papers for Crisp Air paper collection. And I love this color. It's paprika. And I'm just making a little background for my Crisp Air. And then I can kind of tuck my leaves around. So that was just kind of fun. I'm just kind of moving them around, trying to figure out where to put them. Hard to know. Hopefully they'll tell me where they need to go. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up my Crisp Air with my extra pieces of shaker foam. And then I'll put that on top of that wonderful piece of paprika. And then that will go down on the front there. So, and I'm just putting it right over to the edge. So I'm just trying to figure out, I'm still trying to figure out where to put these. So that's fun. So you can rearrange them however you like if you choose to do this. That little autumn air stamp is pretty inexpensive because it's a very small stamp. It's not like our usual. Let me see. It is a B size stamp, so it's less expensive. It's not like our big 18.95 stamps. It's much. It's probably like 10.95 or something. I'm not positive on that. And then I put my little acorns down there. And so there's my pretty leaves. Just kind of going. But you know, I mean, there's something. It needs a little something. So I want to make a, that just doesn't look good. I want to make a sentiment for the inside. And I'm using, now I used, last time I made cards, I used this Sending Love and Laughter. And it's a double stamp. So it has 2 sets. So it's a little bit more expensive. It has 2 full sets of stamping sentiments that cover some of everything. And I really like that. They say our sentiments have gotten to be a little bit more wordy, which I really like. Instead of just a happy birthday or thank you, they're actually saying good stuff. So I really like this one, and I know who it's going to. I really want to use that dotted paper, but I think it's just not meant for this particular one. And it just so happened that I had this little not a bracket, a frame that I had made, and it was too big for what I was using. And so I'm just going to use it for this one. So it's a stitched frame, and it's just looks, you know, fine for this use. And I'm just going to go ahead. So I like that. You were on mine today. I thought I would send a hug your way. And I'm going to put a couple of my leftover leaves down there or someplace. And that is going to go on the, I'm just measuring. And then I'm going to take my paprika and I'm going to make it 1/4 of an inch bigger than my frame. So that just works out fine. And that, I could have stopped right there. You know, I could have stopped right there. So I'm putting my leaves on. Yeah, don't know how to do it. Try it this way, tuck one in. Who knows? So I'm going to just put them a couple on the bottom there. And that guy is going to go under. And they're hanging off. And so I decide, well, I'll just go ahead and cut them off. Don't know whether I should have done that. Maybe not. Maybe not. You could leave it hanging off and that would be just fine. So there we go. Then I decide, no, it needs something else. Here we go. Too much is not enough. See, it needs a background, a little bit darker background. That kind of, you know, finishes the outside edge off. I kind of wish I didn't cut the leaves off, to tell you the truth. I really kind of wish I didn't do that. So I'm trying sage. Nah. And the pine. The pine is really it. That might be becoming one of my favorite colors. I don't know. So now we're down to 2 3/4 by 4. So this is going to be 3 by 4 1/4. Yep, 3 by 4 1/4. So there we go. And so everything has about 1/8 of an inch border on it. So tumbo it up real good. And there we go. So it sticks out a little bit more, but I really don't want the sentiment to show, where so I have to put it closer to the inside of the fold to make sure it doesn't show through on the through the braid. So it's coming along. So I decide that it really, that edge to edge really needs something. And so I found some of my bronze shimmer tape. Now I don't know that bronze is still for sale here, but this is part of my stash. It's probably not available anymore. But so what I do when I don't want to use the full width is to stick it to the cutting board and then just trim off a little edge. I didn't want a full size. I just wanted a little slim, something to cover the where the two come together, the shortbread and the pine. And it was a stark contrast between the two of them. So I decided to put some, and the bronze shimmer actually works really well with this combination of colors. And I like that. And so I'm just putting a real thin piece, and then I'm going to kind of fold it under, and tuck it under there. There we go. And I'm going to fold it up because then I'm going to do the rest of the piece and cover the edge there. So there we go. So a little finishing touch on the inside of the card. Yeah. Okay. So that's coming along. I'm cleaning up my stamp with my microfiber cloth, and it got a use today for sure. And so the only thing that I'm thinking that I have left, and I kind of did an afterthought because I already put the stamp away. So Sending Love and Laughter. That's a really good stamp set. That'll get all your sentiments covered. Okay, so I'm going to take my Autumn Air, and I'm going to take one of the little, so I put it away. And then I think, well, okay. So now what am I going to do? So I'm kind of setting things out like I'm all done. So we have fired brick, mowed lawn, fossilized amber, and spiced marmalade, and then pine ink, and then we also use some mocha. So there's the colors that we used. Yeah, I forgot that I did that. So this is when I decide, well, I need a little thing on the back. So I'm going to put one of the leaves, and I'm going to use the pine, and I'm going to do, I think I'm doing second generation. So I stamp it first, get a good thing, and then just get a second generation there. There we go. Okay. Little signature at the end. Now the only thing that's left is the envelope, because I wasn't thinking. So here we go. I'm going to go get an envelope, and I will be back. I should have, there we go. That didn't take too long. So I'm going to take the leaves and do a little decoration on the front. So it's like, okay, what are we going to do? We'll do a little pine, and, well, no, I'm going to do nectarine. Oh, we use nectarine too. And edge the leaves in pine. And I didn't do a second generation, could have, didn't. So I'm going to do the nectarine again and just dab the edges of the leaves in pine. And normally I do second generation on the envelope. And then I'm going to do one of the little feather leaves. And this is going to be second generation. So it's kind of in the background. So there we go. There's my decoration. Okay, so now I'm really done. We've got our envelope. We've got our back of the card, just with its little signature stamp. And there we go. Boy, I really love these colors. So go ahead and put my oxides away. And if you like this card, let me know. Give me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. And these are not hard cards to do. Making these braids or the lattice work is not hard to do at all. Hardest part is getting the template, and I've given you a link down below to just click on that and print it off. So there's my card. It's my third braided or lattice work card with the lattice work on the far edge now. So it was the folded edge, the center, and now the open edge. So I'm very happy with these braided cards. I like them a lot. I hope you do too. Please let me know. That's real important. And if you haven't subscribed to me, please subscribe. And we'll see what else what more stuff can we do. So thanks for watching. Bye now.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.